everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this pop-up slide card. So these are some new cards that I'm doing. I'm really excited about them. They fold up. Oops, I've got pieces on the bottom. They fold up and they fit an A2 envelope just perfectly. And then when the receiver gets it, they just pull on this little tab and the card pops up to reveal a little scene. I'll hold it that way so you can see it. And then on the back, we have a place for a sentiment to stamp or handwrite, put a note, tag, gift card, whatever. These are a lot of fun to make. They're not difficult at all. And I've got a bunch of these that I'm doing, but we're going to start with the fall ones. So let's go ahead and make this apple card today. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one a little bit different than I did the demo. Just the color wise, it's still the same thing. So in your file, you will get your little pull tab, and then you'll have two printable elements. So the one that says pull, and this one has the little "You Make Me Smile." If you don't want this, there's also a blank one that you can stamp or write on. This is your back piece that you're going to write your note on. And then our little piece that goes underneath the printable sentiment. This is the pull piece right here. Set that aside. And then you'll have some embellishments. You'll have 4 of these skinnier pieces. These are the top and bottom. You'll have 2 of these skinny ones, and these are the front and the back. This is the frame for the back of your pull piece. And then this is your basket and your apples and everything, and I'm going to assemble this here in just 1 second. And then finally you will have the card base piece. So let's go ahead and start by building our embellishment panel, our little apples. So this particular piece has 5 apples on it, and depending on what you're doing, you're going to have different things on here. So this is the base that I'm going to build everything on, and I'm going to start by layering my 3 apples, and 2 of them are going to be yellow. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my glue, move this so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to the back of the apple. So the first 3 apples you build right on to this base, this little shadow piece, and you will cut this piece out of whatever color you want your stems, and it's also going to be the back inside of your basket. So do a brown, some type of brown, and then I'm going to add actually 2 yellow apples to my basket, and I'm doing this mostly so that you can see them, because it's kind of hard on the camera when they're all layers, or excuse me, all red. But they're they're really cute. I've been fighting a bit of a cold. I hope my voice lasts through this video. Okay, next we're going to glue on the little leaves for the apple. And just follow that shadow piece behind on how to build those up. Oops. Okay, and then next we want to build these last 2 apples on these shadow pieces. And then we'll glue them on. And the reason is because the stems and these apples are in front of the other apples. Like that. So I'm going to glue this one down here. This one here, And then find my last two leaves. Just glue them on. These pieces are a little bit tiny, but how I've done cards with tinier pieces, and your machines will cut these out no problem. So you'll just want some glue or something with a small tip to be able to get those on there. Okay, so there is all my apples. Now I'm going to take my basket, and you could ink this up and add a lot to it with some ink, or run it through a embossing folder if you wanted to. That could be cool. Okay, so this one is going to go on here, and this is actually a lighter brown, so I used 3 colors of brown paper for this file. And then we have our little rings that go across the basket, and each one is a little bit bigger. So the largest one's on the top, and you'll kind of want to lay them out, make sure that you've got them in the correct order, and then just glue them on. These do go together really fast. You don't want too much bulk on this slider piece that you're going to pull in and out, and so I wouldn't suggest using foam or anything like that. I've kept the layers as pretty simple, because you don't want it to be too thick or it won't pull out of that little slot that I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, so there is my little apple basket. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love all those fall apples. We're going to add a little sign to it that says, "You make me smile." And again, if you didn't want this, you could hand stamp, write something, or you could even omit this altogether. You don't have to have a little saying on your card, but I like the little sayings. I'm just going to glue it down. And then the last thing I do on this is I just want to make sure everything is pressed down nice and firm, so that when you're pulling it out in and out of your box, it doesn't have anything to snag on. Okay, so we're going to next take our embellishment piece, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the back of it where I want my note. So I have this frame. I'm going to get my tape runner just because it's a little bit quicker. And your slider piece has this tab on the bottom. You want to make sure that there's nothing below this line. So I'm going to center this up here on the top, and then make sure that it doesn't come below that tab piece. We're going to do the same with our little note, and I would almost write your note first or stamp it before you do this part. We're going to center that. Whoa, sorry, I just bumped the camera. We're going to center that right there. Okay, next up, I'm going to take my little pool tab, and I'm going to glue on the pool. And again, if you didn't want to print that out, you don't have to. You could write it, or you could even leave this off. I mean, it's pretty obvious that's what you're going to do. This piece does not have any score lines, but it just folds right in half, and you don't really need the score lines because it's really thin right there at the top. Okay, and the pool goes on the front of this card. This is the back, so we're going to tip it over, and then we're going to add our pool tab so the pool is on the front. And I'm just going to add some glue to the whole thing. I'm going to add it right up there to the top, flip it over, and glue it down to the bottom and to itself. So there's the back, and now I want to add my apple basket to the front. And I did my pull tab first because that apple basket's going to hang over just a little tiny bit. And you can glue this down or do it with your tape, whatever you want to do. But again, you want to make sure that it's down there nice and firm and that the basket doesn't go down onto where that tab is. Okay, oh, and I didn't get that apple quite on there right where it goes, but it'll work. All right, so there is my pool piece, my slider piece with all my decorations. Set that aside. Next, we're going to bring out our base card. And there's some score lines. We're just going to fold everything down away from us on those score lines. There is score lines right here on the hole. Then we're going to add our decorative panels. So the bottom tab and the top tab do not have any decorations on them. That's where we're going to glue everything together. So next I'm going to take these two squiggly wavy pieces and they go on the front. And these would be really fun out of your printed paper, decorative paper. You could even put some sentiments on there if you wanted to, stamp something or whatever. So they go on those two thinner pieces. And then the regular rectangles are all the same size and they go just like that without anything on those tabs. Quickly put those down. And again, you could make this so fun with some really pretty fall paper, printed paper with words or apples or plaid. Oh my gosh, plaid would be so cute. So, so cute. We're just going to add all of those. And I'm going really fast. You're going to want to make sure that those are down really well because this card gets bent a lot. And if the decorative panels aren't down really well, they'll start to pop off. But if you glue them or tape them, they're going to do great. Okay, so there is my box, or my card base. I need to put tape on these two tabs, and I want it pretty good. So I'm going to do 2 rows, and you want to go clear across from top to bottom. Okay, then you're going to decide which is the front and which is the back. On this piece, it doesn't matter because everything is symmetrical. But if you had used some different papers or stamped something that you wanted on the front, you would need to decide which is the front and the back. Take your slider piece and slide it in so that the front is facing the front of your card. So this is my front. Don't pull it all the way through. It shouldn't fit all the way through, but it's kind of loose. And you want to make sure that the front of your tab is facing the front of your card. Then we're going to flip it over. I'm going to put this tab down. Well, I'm sticking to the table here. Okay, I'm going to put this tab down so that the edge of the tab is right along the edge of that opening. We're going to fold this in half so your sticky edge is facing up, and then we're going to fold it over again and just press it and get a really good adhesive. And then it should just pop open like that. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it upside down. We're going to fold this in half and then fold it over again. So basically what I did was I took those 2 tabs that had the tape on them and they sandwich this pool piece. I hope that makes sense. Make sure that the card bends really good in every direction. And then You just slide that little slider piece down inside. And it's going to be a little stiff the first few times that you do it. But now it just slides open and pops up. Isn't that such a fun little card? So these are the pop-up slide cards. And like I said, I've got a whole lot of them in the works. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos. And have a great day.